I'm trying to get you comfortable. I'm trying to get you warmed up.
It's been a while since I've been staring down the barrel like this.
I know, and this might be my most impressive get in the history of the podcast. You've been a hard man to nail down these past few weeks, Joe.
You know me, I'm a busy boy.
Bag.
Busy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think off the top, I do have to apologize to the listeners again because we missed an episode. But it's all good. We're back. We have Joe in studio today.
Yep.
And
why did we miss an episode?
Dude, do not get me going. Do not get me going. Dude, for you to sit here and ask why we missed an episode when you were the reason we missed an episode.
That's not true. You had a Shane McConkey.
Oh. I nearly forgot. I did.
You didn't actually have a Shane McConkey, if anyone's listening.
Joe's saying I had a concussion because I did take a pretty bad spill at Waterville and was scared. It was a real wake-up call, but I'm good.
You persevered.
Persevered.
The horrors persist.
Went and saw my doctor. He said I was good, and
he cleared you?
Yeah.
Cleared you for takeoff?
Cleared to go, but he said stop trying to be a hero.
Stop leaning forward. That would have never happened if you didn't lean forward.
If I was a backseat skier,
that would have never happened.
You weren't there, dude.
I saw
the
photos.
What happened?
You were ahead of the tips.
So I was just skiing pretty fast at Waterville, and
you found the front of the boot.
The snow consistency changed, and my skis hiccuped. AKA stopped, and I went head over heels going really fast. It was definitely the hardest fall I've ever taken on a groomer, but also one of those falls you get up from and you're like, how am I not hurt right now?
Yeah, because you were head over heels.
Head over heels in love with the ski that I was on.
You know what's interesting about head over heels isn't that the way we stand up normally?
Yeah.
Your head's above your heels.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that expression sucks.
I don't know.
Head over heels in love, dude. It means you're just like standing normal.
God, we could input a lot of bad jokes right there.
Yeah.
About head over heels.
Yep. Head in the heels.
Speaking of the head core. So how about I do the interview for a few minutes?
I would appreciate that.
TSM, first annual demo day. I was not there.
Yep. You actually gave me my spot.
Yeah.
Originally, Joe
I called you up from the farm team.
Yeah. I got called from the bullpen and ended up getting hurt. So
you didn't get hurt.
Technically your fault.
You're going to milk that one for a while. So walk me through the vibes of the demo day. Who'd you ski with? What'd you ski? What did you dislike? What did you like?
Demo day was a huge success. First annual Ski Monster Fest. I think it was successful enough where we can say we're going to do some.
We're doing it again
next year, and
bigger.
The vibe was great. You had all the brands set up with tents at the base of Waterville. Everybody was there early, and except me. But yeah, you could just. I mean, we got, I don't know what the final number of tickets we ended up having was, but it was a good amount of people there. Stoked to just test skis on a weekday. We were basically the only ones at the mountain. And
it's basically a private club at that point.
Basically a private club where you get to kind of talk to the people from the brands about next year's skis, have them set them up for you, and then go take a couple laps.
Dude.
It's a very efficient way to like figure out what you like and don't like about skis.
So we call Sunapee like the Tahoe of the East.
Tahoe doesn't suck.
Dude, Sunapee doesn't either. What the hell's wrong with you? Cut that out.
No, I'm taking it
So
out.
Would Waterville be like the YC of the East when we're doing Ski Monster Fest? Because it was really just us there.
God. Really, dude? No.
Just throwing it out there.
Waterville is like it's like the kicking horse of the East right now.
Well, their chairlifts don't fall down at Waterville.
Well, it felt like it was gonna because that chairlift kept shutting down. But,
the big one?
Yeah, no, it was super fun. Very good day. Fun mountain. especially when it's not crowded.
Was the rope toe open?
Any mountain. The high country one was not.
Oh.
But it was a little foggy and rainy, but the weather held up. The weather, that's what I would say. It held up, did just that. And
sun came out for a little bit, no?
Sun came out for a little bit. We got really just like where the snow was good, it was hero snow. And then it was kind of mashed potato-y a little bit. But
yeah, perfect for St. Patrick's Day.
Very fun. It wasn't St. Patty's Day.
Today is.
Is today St. Patty's Day?
Yeah.
I thought yesterday was.
No, that was a celebration.
The Sunday is the celebration.
In Southie.
Yeah. That was a good time.
Yep.
I was thinking, so Southie does this huge St. Patty's Day parade. Boston Ski Party float. Almost sounds too perfect.
We could set it up like the college game day desk and do a live pod from the float.
Broadway.
Yeah.
While doing a pod, people are like, what the hell are these
We're in
guys doing?
full garb.
Yeah. So just something to think about. I'll
You're going to run the numbers on that?
definitely run the numbers on that. Wow. The ROI on this is incredible.
Yeah.
I just calculated in my head.
That was good. But back to Waterville.
350%.
What did you ski?
I skied on Armada Declivity 92. Oh, sorry. I started the day on Rossi Sender free 100s.
Yep.
Which I've been skiing those a good amount. After I get skiing those back to back with the bents, they are a pretty stiff ski. Like they're a little stiffer than they need to be. And they're like, I finally got some runs through like technical terrain, tight trees. And I was like, all right, these are kind of working my legs, but that's a fun ski.
So less playful than the bent.
Definitely less playful throughout the ski. Like it's harder to release the tips and tails, where the bent and honestly the new QST have this like great mix of like feeling sturdy underfoot but looser in the tips and tails, so they can do what I want them to do a little bit easier.
Skid.
Yeah, skid. What's wrong with skidding?
Nothing.
What's wrong with slashing?
Nothing at all. You're the best skidder slasher we got.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad that's being recognized.
Yeah. Why would you choose to take a sender free somewhere versus a bent? When would you use that over a bent?
It's hard to say, but
would you
I think ice.
You're like skiing an icier day.
Yeah, and just skiing groomers and laying it over and skiing a little faster. Mm-hmm. The sender free does hold up better in those scenarios, but it's just not as energetic as I would like it to be.
Gotcha. So not going to replace the bent as your daily driver?
Not going to replace the bent as my daily driver. I was definitely curious to see if it could overtake the bent, because, I think just the longer I do this and the longer I test skis, I just always go back to
the goat.
Go back to the goat.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. But
I love it.
Dude, the new QSTs, I am so hyped on. They're just like a more directional bend.
Okay.
Is how I read it. It feels pretty similar, like towards the center of the ski, but loose enough in the tips and tail. Like I could center mount that thing in ski park on it. I know it.
You could center mount any ski park on it if you really try hard enough.
I should probably retire from skiing park.
No.
That's
no.
what we're thinking. But all right, so started the day on those. Took a couple laps, and then I switched. Kind of went the other way. Grabbed a Declivity 92. Ski is so good.
Yep.
It's such a good ski, and that's what I ended up working myself on. So, kind of like took away from the rest of the test day, but I still took a few laps. I probably shouldn't have, but
you had to test it. You test in all conditions.
That's how yeah. All snow conditions and all mental conditions. Yeah. Skied at Declivity 92, and then I got on a couple more Armadas Armada Stranger, which was surprisingly fun.
Yep.
A ski that only goes up to 180 too, which actually did feel pretty short. That's
Yeah.
the longest version of it.
Yeah, it's a strange ski.
It is a strange ski, but very, very playful, soft in the tips and tails.
Yep.
I can imagine it would be really fun. We weren't skiing woods that day, but I bet that thing would be so fun in the woods.
Yep.
100 millimeters underfoot. It's a kind of unique ski. I would say it's like a wider Miras core.
Yeah, that's valid.
Comparison. Miras core has a little bit more of like a carvy shape. Like Miras core is designed to be a carving ski. The Stranger, because of the way it's constructed, is a similar vibe, but I also skied on the Kimbo, which is a more narrow Stranger.
Yeah.
95 millimeters underfoot. A little bit stiffer, and
Which did you like better?
same personality. I'd say those two are pretty interchangeable for the skier who wants like a more playful ski that can carve.
Yep.
It wasn't icy though, so I didn't really get to put them to the true test.
That's all right.
Yeah, skied on a Maverick 95,
96.
96, sorry.
That's what I'm here for. I'm the fact checker.
That ski's gas.
Yeah, it looks good too.
I'm sure I have the same. I feel like I got the same read on that ski as you did. So a little bit more playful than the current Maverick, which is fun for some scenarios. It's like loose. It's like a little bit like skidding, and like I'm sure in the woods it's a little more exciting.
Yeah, that's one of the gripes that I have with the current Mav is like when you take it into those off-trail scenarios, it feels like you're working a little bit harder, or I'm working a little bit harder than I want to. New one, just a little bit easier.
Sure.
Still a fucking powerful little piece though.
Yeah, it does well for its weight.
And it looks good.
For its weight class.
Yeah, good strength to weight ratio.
Yeah, good strength to weight ratio. I don't know. It might be a little too playful to be like an Enforcer 94 or a declivity. Like it's not dethroning those.
It's not quite there.
But yeah, I'd say it lives kind of close. Like it lives like in the Ripstick 96 black territory.
I would agree with you.
And I forget, is it just carbon in that ski?
No, CTI.
A little bit of metal.
Yeah.
CTI.
Yep.
Maybe that should
New construction.
CTE.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you. No, that they did new shape. So I think you got a little more rocker. They changed up the side cut a touch, so it's more similar. It's the same treatment that they gave to the new 105 CTI for last year. It's also a similar treatment to what they did to the Bents last season.
Sure.
So just change up that rocker profile, tip tail shape, and I think they changed core thickness as well. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's where you're still getting like that power and stability that you want and expect from a Maverick.
That sounds right.
But improving like your versatility aspects, off trail, side of the trail, soft snow, again without trading off what people have come to know the Mavericks to be.
Yeah.
We haven't been out, or I haven't been out on the 88 yet. I'm curious to ski that versus the current 88. I know both you and I like that current 88.
I love the current 88. It's like the least powerful ski.
Yeah.
Like so it's for like short,
large power band.
Short to mid radius carves.
Yep.
It's
long skids.
It's great. Yeah, and long skids.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll ski that next week.
Skid cuddy.
Yeah. We'll ski that next week up at Stowe. Yep. I'm curious to see your thoughts on it.
We're doing a lot of ski testing next week up at Stowe.
Yes, we are.
For that.
Yeah. We've got a lot of frontside stuff for you to ski next week, too. Are you excited for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
We're going to ski it a little slower.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Got a feel for the ski.
Yeah. Are you going to put your GS suit on?
I probably will be wearing a GS suit.
Yeah.
Just for
we should get you one of the POC helmets with the bar.
I should probably wear a POC helmet with the bar, and then the mittens with the brass knuckles.
Yeah. I don't know if they have brass knuckles. That's more like,
I just call them mittens with the brass knuckles.
More of like a Jersey City vibe. That's what they wear at the indoor skiing in Jersey.
Sorry, I gotta put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
It's all right.
But does that make you feel like you're at home? That's
Yeah.
why you wear those mittens, because
Yeah.
it reminds you of home.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, overall hugely successful day. Skied with the Ski Monster crew, all the staff here, Berkowitz, Devin, George, Dylan. Shout out Heavy D.
Our Tony Soprano.
Allegra made an appearance.
Oh, nice. I heard Brady was grilling up some stuff.
Brady had the grill going, and
That's what I was most jealous about. Like I wasn't having so much FOMO. I liked hearing about the day, and then when Brady came in, next time I saw him after the day, he told me that he had the griddle out, and I was like, now I'm upset that I missed the day.
And yeah.
What boots did you ski?
Shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I know.
I can't wait to put that new one on my foot. Dude. The Lang Shadows were feeling great, skiing great. The front of them felt good when I found it.
Yep, the one time you found it and went head over heels. Or heels over head. Skis over head.
It's heels over head, dude.
Yeah. Should we coin that?
Yeah. I like where your head's at.
Over my heels.
Over your heels. Exactly where it should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, super exciting. We're gonna keep doing. I can't wait for the one next year. I don't know.
Can't come soon enough.
Details to come, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Ski Monster Fest. How's your testing season gone since we last spoke?
When's the last time you had me on? What have I done?
You've done Elan.
Oh yeah, great day.
You did an Elan day. You
Yep.
want to just talk about that?
Oh, I did a Stokely day too.
Did a Stokely day, dude. Let me
I
know.
feel like there was something else. No, maybe not. Who knows? Stokely day. That was at the end of Feb. We went up to Ragged. Sun was shining. Snow was.
New Hampshire's hidden gem.
Yeah. The snow was
I
fantastic.
don't know how I'm so complimentary towards Ragged, but then I shat on Sunapee earlier.
Dude, take that back from about Sunapee. Sunapee's fantastic.
I officially take it back. I'm sorry. I just like to rag on it.
Yeah. Ragged was great.
Ragged on it.
I skied their updated Montero AS, which is the most narrow offering in the Montero line.
Yep.
So we'll go AS, AX, AR.
Yep.
From narrowest to widest.
How narrow are we talking?
God.
72?
I think it's 70 something. Wow. It's pretty narrow.
That's a narrow boy.
But that thing's like a little ninja stick.
Yeah.
I was skiing it in a 170 length.
Yep.
I've been skiing more short skis lately, and I'm kind of into it.
Dude, I've been saying this for years. Shorter skis make you a better skier. You have more control. You can shape your turns easier.
Yeah.
And, going a little shorter.
But that ski got the same treatment.
Nothing wrong with it.
That ski got the same treatment that AR and AX got last season. So remove some of the metal in the tips and tails to allow it to kind of, transition from turn to turn.
Skid.
Easily. Yeah, skid. Skid testing.
Is probably not a word I would use, verb I would use.
No, that wasn't really a skiddy
ski experience.
That thing was great. I was skiing in the new Fisher RC4 LV boot.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm gonna get to your boots. We're gonna get to your boots.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it.
I'll brush over that then. And then skied AX, AR. I think the AS and the AR are my two favorites out of the Montero collection.
Okay.
I don't know why.
So narrowest and widest.
Yep.
Okay. No love for the middle.
No, I mean it's still a great ski, but if I was gonna choose one, it would be one of those two, I think.
Yeah.
Skied the Storm Riders. Smoothest skis out there.
Yep. What do you think?
I think they're awesome.
Overall?
Yeah, I think they're great. They also got a little bit of an update in construction. Just
for this year.
Yep.
Nothing huge.
No, nothing. It's still a Storm Rider.
Yep.
They're just trying to broaden use case.
Yep.
And those were a ton of fun.
Yep.
And
I feel like because of the reputation Stokely has, a lot of people don't think that that's a ski you'd get if you're like a more adventurous skier.
We talk about that all the time. People assume that the Storm Rider series is more closely related to like the ARs and the lasers than it actually is.
Yeah.
And in the all mountain like free ride category that we have a lot of skis in, like that ski compared to whether it's the 88, the 95, or the 102, like that ski compared to a lot of the stuff that lives in that category is easy to balance on.
Yep.
Easier in softer snow off trail.
Yep.
And isn't quite as powerful as like you'd expect a Stokely to be.
Right.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's honestly kind of nice. Like you never
for
feel like you're working hard.
Yeah.
They still rip groomers and they still feel solid when you step on it.
Yep.
But like, we were just talking about the Maverick 96.
Mm-hmm.
That versus Storm Rider 95, like that Maverick's more ski than the Storm Rider 95.
Really?
Yeah.
The new one?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so, I feel like everyone could do a little bit of a better job, whether that's on Stokely's end or our end, kind of explaining like where those Storm Riders live and know that it's not a ski that people should be afraid of. It looks a little intimidating. It's got the Stokely name.
Yeah.
It looks like it's made out of just fucking metal.
Yeah. Visually, you look at it and you're like, this is going to feel like a Mantra.
Yeah. Yep. But no, it's really nothing like the Mantra.
No.
I mean, shares some characteristics for sure.
Yeah.
But
like the silver.
Well, I mean, Mantras aren't silver. Mantras are red. You know that.
Yeah.
But that was a great day. Obviously, we had to do pizza at Ragged. If you guys haven't had the pizza at the bar in Ragged, that's probably some of the best.
The Stone Hearth.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was called.
It's called the Stone Hearth.
They had the fire
and
going.
I'll never forget that because we were doing a test day with Alon there, and Tyler was like, "Shout out Tyler, should we hit the Stone Hearth?"
Oh God.
So he has trouble reading, I guess.
It's okay,
but it's all right.
But no, that was a great day. Stokely's got some good skis out there currently. We're bringing in the AS next year, which we haven't had in our offering before, which is good. That'll kind of complement some of the other more narrow stuff we're bringing in.
They should do an AF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you put that?
Powerful AF.
And then the Alon day that I most recently went on, that was up at Sunapee. Morning started out a little dicey.
Yeah.
It was pretty firm. We were skiing mostly Wildcat and Wingman.
Mm-hmm.
They're like more narrow, front-side-y, on-piste ski.
And they have a Wingman Black Edition coming.
They do. That's what I was skiing on most of the day.
Nice.
People wanted to change skis pretty frequently, and I did my best to like click out of the skis and then not offer them up and then just click back into the Wingman Black Edition,
Classic move.
Yep. But those skis are awesome. Those are, they feel as, call it easy to ski as like a ripstick.
Yep.
But more top end, a little more like oomph to them.
For sure.
Without feeling too demanding or difficult to ski. And that was kind of the ski of the day for me.
Yep.
Being like kind of firm in the morning. It softened up a little bit. It didn't really ever get to a point where you're like, all right, I can really trust the snow today. But that was a great ski. We skied ripsticks, obviously. It's kind of our benchmark to test a lot of skis against. We went and skied over on the sunny side of Sunapee.
Oh, nice.
Like on the beginner area.
Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the snow was like cream cheese.
Yep.
That was nice.
Cream cheese, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Doing a couple of good schmears over there.
Smearing.
Yep. That day, I know we're going to get into boots, but I skied the Cortex there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Me and Berkowitz. He was in the Cortex 140.
Nice.
I was in the Cortex 130.
Okay.
It took us, probably a little too long to get the boots on.
Yep.
Even though we were in the lodge.
Yep. This is K2's double boa boot they have coming.
Yeah.
And
I should have brought the heat gun with me to slide into them.
Yep. You got to heat it up. Put it next to the fire.
We made the mistake of foregoing the advice to heat mold the liners before we skied in them.
Okay.
Which we would obviously not do for customers that come in for those boots. but skiing those things right out of the box, unmolded,
Yep.
with just my footbed in there,
It's tight.
it was a bit of a break-in day.
Yep.
You know, my feet don't really get bothered too much by boots out of the box, and that thing just a little unforgiving. So I should probably heat mold the liners if I'm gonna ski in them again, and maybe make a couple of punches, which I don't really ever have to punch boots.
Yep.
That whole variable last story that they're telling with that Cortex, I don't think it's true. I think variable last means like variable levels of discomfort all day.
Sure.
But with a little bit of work, I think that boot's going to be pretty good. It skis really well.
I was gonna say, how does it actually feel?
It skis really
Learning to
well.
ski.
It's a heavy boot,
Yeah.
and we've been talking a lot about heavy boots lately and what boots weigh. It is nothing like any of the K2 boots that we know exist currently. Like
Recon.
it's Recon, Mindbender.
Yeah.
It's a completely different animal.
Yep.
It's probably twice the weight of those boots. Maybe not twice the weight,
So
but
probably way stiffer too.
yeah. So in that 130, like that, if we're going to call the Cortex 130 a 130, that would make the Mindbender 130 or the Recon 130 more like 100. But skis well. It just needs, it's a boot that would require a little bit of, manipulation to get to fit well for some people.
Yep. Is that your first double bow boot experience
No,
on snow?
no, we skied Speed Machine,
We'll officially transition to Joe's boots.
Yeah.
That's our topic right now.
but, that was probably the longest time I spent in a double bow boot. That wasn't like a full day of skiing, but it was, 9 to 1 in the boot all day. Feet were screaming at
For
me.
what it's worth, I count that as a full day.
Yeah. Some people don't, though.
No.
There's 3 more hours for some people.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we've been talking a lot about double boa. I, having spent some time in them, I still think I'm a buckle up top guy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did
you find yourself having problems with adjusting that part of the boot?
I
Or
wanted
having
to
fiddle with it.
Yeah, I wanted to. With the lower, I kind of had that thing pretty loose
Okay.
most of the day, just trying to get my
it's a
feet to
tight
stay
boot,
alive.
too.
Yeah. With the up top, I wanted to mess around with it kind of all day. Like I wanted to continually keep tightening it and tightening it.
Yep.
We talked about my, tiny legs
Mm-hmm.
on past episodes, and
Yep. Toothpicks.
even with the cuff spoiler in that boot and that boa kind of cranked as hard as I could physically crank it, I wanted a little bit more, solid feel up top. That's just me though.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with double boa boots, but you got to make sure that, the double boa boot you end up in fits the shape of your leg the way
Works
you
for
want
your
it to.
leg.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to be a problem for a lot of people?
I don't even know if you'd call it a problem. It's just another aspect of fit that we'll have to focus on when we're fitting boots.
Yep.
With buckles up top, like you can kind of fine tune where you want it tight and how tight you want it to be. With that thing, you got to get it tight before it actually feels like it's, in my opinion, like the level of snug that you'd expect.
Sure.
But we'll find out more as we ski them more.
Yep.
And then if we're diving into boots,
Yeah. What else have you been skiing in?
Remedy 130, which
What do you
is
think?
my favorite boot now.
We've talked about that on the pod. You were skiing that at Killington.
Yep.
And,
Gotten
let's hear your updated thoughts.
updated thoughts. I like that boot better than I like the Cortex.
Yep.
It's probably a little bit of a stiffer boot than I necessarily need.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like heavy boot, thick plastic, dense liner. As far as like break-in compared to the Cortex, that Remedy I didn't do a single thing to.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like how we like to test boots, just right out of the box, how some people might be using them.
Yep.
And I won't need to make any adjustments to that Remedy where, even though it's related to the Cortex and the measurements on paper are supposed to be similar to the Cortex, it's a little bit more of a anatomically shaped boot out of the box.
Yep.
So
Do you feel like that liner broke in pretty quickly?
I wouldn't even necessarily say like I felt break in or that it was getting more generous fitting the more I've skied it. It just feels like it fits my foot shape well.
Yeah.
And George skied it. He might have worked on his before he skied it. I think he did the liner mold shell bake.
Sure.
which is nice about that boot compared to a Cortex. Like, you can bake the shell.
Yeah, you can bake
Can't
the
bake
shell.
the Cortex.
You can't do that on a lot of heavy boots, right?
No. And then Berkowitz skied the Remedy when we were at the Waterville industry demo day, not our demo day.
Yep.
He grabbed that thing right out of the boot room and skied that, and he's got a bit of a hoof in his mind.
Yeah.
And he skied that thing no problem.
Yeah. I mean, he's a lot of times an MV guy, right?
I don't know.
Could be wrong.
I don't know.
But he's been in those
Yeah, he measures 28 something and skis in a 27.5. So he's jamming in.
Yeah.
And I've been skiing at the Stokely day and one of the Killington days. I think we talked about. I skied in that Fisher 130 LV.
Yep.
That's a great boot.
You're excited about that one?
Pretty excited about that one.
I'm excited about that one. I'm excited we have a new LV in the mix. That, I mean, the Remedy is as exciting as anything, but it's not really in like the casual recreational LV category.
That Fisher's a little bit more user friendly. Still a heavy boot. Still skis really well. It's just comfier liner.
Mm-hmm.
Softer material.
More upright, probably.
No, it's the same. I think that's probably got more forward lean than both the Remedy and the...
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think that boot's 17 degrees forward lean.
I apologize.
Remedy's 16. Cortex is set at 15.
Mm-hmm.
With the cuff spoiler in the Cortex, I think that gets you to 17, and with a cuff spoiler in the Remedy, that gets you to 17. But all three of those boots ski well, fit well, related to one another closely enough. The BOA on the lower in that Fisher, with my foot shape, like I can tighten it down pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
Buckles on the upper, which I like. As far as which one's most powerful, it'd probably go Remedy, Cortex, Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the Ultras that you used to ski in or your Shadows.
Yep.
It's probably a little more similar to the Shadow.
Yep.
As far as like weight, fit, stuff like that.
Yep.
But we're bringing all three of those boots in for next season.
Nice.
So we'll have some good options there.
Yeah.
In the higher performance LV category.
Yeah. Excited to see a BOA go on some of those.
Yep.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
On the lower shell.
Yep. I think that's all I've done for boots so far. I think next week, we're at Stowe, we're going to do Caliber, that new head boot.
Let's go.
Which is exciting.
It's right behind me here.
Yep. That's an MV. So
MV.
We'll have to test it.
Is there a Caliber LV?
I don't believe so.
Interesting.
That's right. We'll figure it out.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm not either.
Just got to figure out how to make my feet wider before next week.
That's doable. We can stretch them out.
Totally.
We can use the boot stretcher.
Stretch my feet out. Heat them up, stretch them out.
Yeah.
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 Those are my most recent test days. We got more on the horizon.
If I have anything else here, I think testing-wise, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about.
Yep.
And then...
we'll definitely have to do a pod after our Stowe extravaganza.
Totally. That's probably what the next episode's going to be.
Yeah, because we'll have a little more of an in-depth review into some of the frontside stuff we're bringing in. Stormbird from Blizzard, Multipista from Nordica.
Yep.
Which is, I think, my favorite ski so far this season.
Nice.
We'll confirm later.
The beer league body.
Yeah. Beer league tip, race body, whatever.
No, race tip, beer league body.
No. Opposite.
Oh, my bad.
It's got a tip shape kind of like an Enforcer-ish.
Okay, that's right.
And then it's got like that, go fast underfoot type shape.
Yep.
So we got that.
Zoom.
We'll ski the Multipista. We'll ski the Stormbird. We'll ski Peregrine Vocal.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
What's that?
82 underfoot.
New Deacon?
Yeah.
Is Deacon's
still around.
Okay.
Similar.
All right.
A little more. I think it's a little more high performance than the Deacon.
Oh.
I think. There's a couple of different ones. There's like a Deacon Masters, which is not a ski that you and I would enjoy to be on all day.
No.
Peregrine's a little more like user friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. carve them, slarve them.
Yep. Skid them.
Skid them.
All right.
And we'll ski that next to the AS again. Hopefully we can get that, or an AR. And wingman.
Wingman.
Have you skied a wingman?
I have skied the last generation of the wingman.
You're gonna like the new ones.
And yeah, I mean that's a great groomer ski for so many skiers.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Is like with some of the skis we're bringing in for next season is an offer a little bit more variety in that front side category, knowing that I think a lot of consumers are coming to the realization that all mountain skis are great, but if you want something a little more specialized for just ripping groomers, like get a good tool for the job.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Everyone's got the chef's knife at home that does a lot of things, but there's nothing better than like a little paring knife every now and then.
Yep.
Bread knife.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Use the right tool for the job.
Right. You don't need the 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, dandruff.
Well, I use that stuff. 3-in-1's nice.
Well, 3-in-1 is like the mid-90 all-mountain skis.
Yeah.
But like,
shout out Head and Shoulders.
If you need like good shampoo,
yeah,
that's like a nice frontside ski.
I'm a Head and Shoulders guy.
I can actually smell it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, dude, we're also both corduroy hat guys.
They're in. Realized. Corduroy hats are ripping these days.
Definitely. So yeah, that's our testing. That's where we're at testing wise right now. We got a big day big couple of days coming up at Stowe.
Yeah, we'll ski Monday, Tuesday, I think.
Yep. Excited about that.
Should be good weather. They're getting some snow this weekend.
Make sure I don't get a parking ticket.
Yep.
And
not that you'd pay it anyway.
No, waiting to see where that one ends up. Collections, probably.
Yeah. Epic mountain collections.
Yeah. I'm going to be an epic court.
Yeah. What else you got for us today, Garrett?
So I did want to touch on some industry stuff.
Yep.
Just like more general ski industry stuff. Salomon just released their Départ. Départ?
I think you should say still releasing.
Still releasing their Départ.
It's an extended release ski.
It's an extended rollout. Extendo release. So they came out, they dropped this ski, I want to say last spring, kind of nowhere, and like positioned it as their reinvestment into free skiing. But it's like a 106 millimeter water ski, so I'm not really sure.
Can you use it on the water?
Who it's for? Yeah, you can use any ski on the water.
Do you think it's a ski that they're trying to like make popular for those, spring ski day festivals that some mountains do, where like you can take them, you go off the
Pond skim.
Pond skim. Yeah, sorry, I was blanking.
Yeah, so new pond skim ski from Salomon. So they rolled that out, and I mean, I obviously haven't skied on it. So I can't really like say any of this definitively, but I just don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
But so they released it like at the end of last year. It kind of got a lot of hype like within the free skiing new schoolers community.
Yep.
And then last fall when Salomon was doing their big premiere here in Boston, they showed the Départ film, Départ, and it was pretty sick. It's like I'm gonna butcher his name, Sammy Ordely. I wish I could read it. It's Sammy Ordely. Sammy O. He like used to be like a line guy and has put together a lot of sweet film segments. But Salomon added him and a few other like street skiers to the team. They made a pretty sweet street project using that ski. But it's like, I mean, even if I'm going out to shoot an urban project, I probably don't want a 106 underfoot ski.
No.
But so
unless you're planning on doing a pond skim shortly thereafter.
Yeah, urban pond skim.
Yeah,
through the canal
down at Boston Commons
through the Charles River. Oh yeah, down in the Commons with the swans. You can jib a swan, jib a swan boat.
Yeah.
But so I remember seeing that last fall, and then I haven't really thought about it since. But to my surprise, that movie has been like released this week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did they wait till this week to
extended release?
Release the movie that like corresponds with the ski. And And
maybe they're trying like a new marketing, campaign, like always releasing.
just always letting it out.
Yep.
And then the other thought I have on the whole thing is like Salomon is acting like this is like their big investment into free skiing, but like the new QS2 is probably a more versatile like freestyle ski.
Yeah, 100%.
That one, I just don't know if I really understand it.
You think it's more of a novelty item?
I think it's more of a novelty item, and I'd like to see the numbers on how many of them they had made.
How many do you think they made?
150.
All right, it's not nothing.
Yeah. So sorry to go on that rant, and I'm sorry, Solomon. I love you.
I could tell it was weighing on you.
I do love Solomon. I just don't get it.
Yeah, maybe
I
someone from Solomon can clear it up for us.
Yeah.
Or for you.
Yeah, I would love it. Slide into my DMs. They've clarified.
Pond skim into my DMs.
Yeah, pond skim right into my DMs. And I'll tow you behind a boat.
All right.
And then other than that, Keegan Kilbride just dropped a street project. That was pretty sweet. Go check that out. I know you're not going to watch it, but
You tried to get me to watch it.
I tried to get Joe to watch it so we could talk about it, but just like a pretty hard body, like skiing fast, slamming into walls.
Yeah.
Classic from one of the greatest street skiers of all time.
Did you watch that little segment I sent you from Calm Beneath Castles?
No, I have not yet.
Yeah, hence why I don't watch your stuff. You don't watch my stuff.
I gotta watch it, but they released that movie full online.
You and I should have a session watch.
Matchstick released their 2024 movie on Red Bull TV. So if you're looking for some good ski content.
Again, I think I said it when I got back from Colorado in October. I was like, that's one of the better ski movies I've seen in a long time. I was hype.
Yeah, you were gassed up.
I was really hype about. What's his name? Dennis?
Who?
The skier for Atomic. Yeah, that clip I sent you.
Dennis Rinalter?
Yeah. That was the segment I sent you. He's just
a beast.
He's just ripping in the resort.
Yep. Dude,
the way he was
better than a resort segment.
The way he was skiing in the resort is kind of how I envision you feel when you're skiing at Loon. Just absolutely mobbing it.
Yeah, you kind of nailed that.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean,
on the bends.
Yep, that was a really cool segment.
Yeah.
So I think you should watch it.
Matchstick historically has done really good resort segments, and those always stand out to me because it's really cool to see, the most talented skiers in the world skiing stuff that you ski right by.
Yeah, it'd be like a golf pro playing at your local municipal,
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, playing here at George Wright.
Yeah.
Or, what's the one in Dorchester, the public course?
I forget the name. Robert, no, whatever.
William J. Devine. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, so that's like a public course. Not just like a public golf course. Like the course is public.
It's like a park.
It's a park.
Yeah, so
you're playing around people who are like playing frisbee and having a picnic.
Yeah, walking their dogs.
Yeah.
Taking the kids out for a stroll.
Yeah. It's always
which is a real hazard when you golf like we do.
For them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're lacing a worm burner right past them.
Did you see Berkerud's dub on cross country skis?
Yes.
Berkerud did a dub 10 on cross country skis.
Yeah.
Which is just insane.
It's proof that it's not the equipment.
The ski blade dub. You've seen the dude, we need a sled dogs dub.
We could figure that out.
But no, that was one of the more impressive things I've ever seen.
Yeah, again, proof that it's not the equipment, it's the skier.
Or if you're really good at skiing, you can probably do it on anything.
Yep.
But
how about Gogan?
Shout out to Berkeley.
I sent you that. You definitely watched that.
Gogan is such a savage.
Yeah.
Gogan.
That was cool.
Speaking of resort skiing, Gogan just posted a clip where he's just skiing alongside a trail at Whistler and rips it dub back.
Yep.
Stomps it. And Dude, Gogan has been collecting some hardware this year. I think he's won 2 Free Ride World Tour stops, repeated in Georgia, which when I had him on the pod was like one of the main topics we talked about.
Yep.
He won again in Georgia. He won another stop, and he won GoPro's Line of the Winter. I think they do it monthly, so he won the February version, collected a $5,000 check, and
all thanks to you having him on the pod.
that's what I was thinking. It's weird, like people come on this podcast and then
Good things happen to
good
them.
things happen. So
Yeah.
you should be expecting something, Joe. You've spent a lot of time on this microphone.
I know.
But yeah, we get Gogan, Grace Henderson medaled in the X Games shortly after we had her. I'm not giving myself credit, but I mean, there's a trend we're seeing here.
There's something at play.
There's something at play.
You inspire winning with your conversation.
So yeah, people are just gassed up.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Neil sent me this. Did you see the founder of Oakley sold his mansion in Malibu
No.
for like somewhere between 60 and 70 million bucks?
Jesus, that's a lot of goggles.
That's a lot of goggles, dude. And just like,
Wow.
I don't know, dude. Oakley is so I had a prediction. So let me preface this by being like just an observation I've had. Oakley is one of the few brands that has managed to like take their products that were popular 15, 20 years ago and then just have them just make them have an epic comeback.
Yeah.
Like
your new sunglasses.
like my sunglasses, like yeah, they're always selling like vintage stuff. Those like old like Pit Viper style glasses.
Yep.
And I think in the next few years here, we'll put 5-year max, you're gonna see the Oakley crowbars make a huge comeback for goggles.
Okay.
Or the A-frames.
Yeah.
Or the A-frames. But
No,
did you ever have crowbars?
no,
Dude,
that wasn't cool.
crowbars, my first pair of crowbars literally felt like gold in my hands.
You still have them?
I don't hold on to stuff in the right way. I hold on to the dumbest shit and then can't find the best stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe they're lying around somewhere.
Probably in the trophy room.
They're probably in the trophy room.
Yeah.
There's just so much
Hardware
in there.
Yeah, it's tough.
That I forget.
It's like the vault at Gringotts that Harry Potter has to dive into
Yeah.
to get the Horcrux. There's just so much gold and jewels.
Yeah. I need to get my hands on a pair of Oakley over the tops though.
Yeah. Doesn't your friend have a pair?
Yeah, Ian has a pair of OTTs that are just legendary. Jack,
have you ever worn them?
In them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've spent some time in them. He brought them to Vegas last year. Those things went hard in Vegas. So, yeah, what else do we have coming? Oh, Red Bull, or not Red Bull, Ski Natural Selection
Oh,
is
yeah.
happening in April. I'm bummed to find out it's not going to be broadcasted live. So it's going to happen like first week of April and then be shown the last week of April.
I'm not mad at that.
It'll be fine.
Extended release.
That's the theme today. Oh, I sent you the dude. Chris Benchetler has something so dope cooking up right now.
Yeah.
With Mickey Hart that seems to be a follow up on Fire on the Mountain, which was like his collab with the Grateful Dead.
Yep.
Where they just did a bunch of like really cool ski segments set to some classic Dead tunes. Did some like
the lighting for that was insane.
Yeah.
So
these like LED light suits, skiing at night, surfing at night. That guy Rob Machado is like the surf Benchetler. Bill Walton narrated it. R.I.P. to the GOAT. So he has been putting out teasers all winter of him. He's working directly with Mickey Hart, who's one of the drummers for the Grateful Dead, to do something that's being released this fall, and I just couldn't be more excited.
Yeah.
There's
That's going to be like Christmas and fall for you.
There's two types of people in this world: people who like the Grateful Dead and people who haven't been enlightened. And yeah, so Fire on the Mountain's like one of my favorite projects that's ever been made.
So this is your Super Bowl coming up.
So this is my Super Bowl, but that one didn't have any of the living members of the Grateful Dead actually involved, boots on the ground, on the scene.
Yeah.
This one, you have Mickey Hart playing drums, playing all types of percussion instruments on top of a hip while skiers boost.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited for me too.
Yeah.
Honestly. I'm very excited. But what, dude? I'm giddy.
I know, I can tell.
Yeah. And then other thing I wanted to promote is Hunter Henderson Invitational still going down. And
yeah, when is that? That's coming up.
April 5th, I think. It's the Friday of that week.
Yep.
It might be the 5th or something close to that. But yeah, if you're in the area and you're looking for something to do on a Friday, that'll be a good time.
That's also at Waterville.
Good East Coast skiing coming together. That's also at Waterville. And I believe the invite has been extended to my brother, Mr. Shaq Finn, and I'm trying to convince him. So
he should definitely do it.
He should absolutely do it. He thinks he's too washed up. I think he's got it.
Yeah.
And I think my cousin Anna is going to be there, dude. So we're all the TSC Loon fam is going to be represented there. And a bunch of like, just like the guys who have been killing it on the East Coast. And I don't really know who else is going to be there, but it's just going to be a good time.
Let's go.
Also Sawyer, who I grew up skiing Loon with, is going to be there.
We should go to the event.
I'm planning on being there completely. And then what else? Oh, sorry. I feel like I just keep rifling off things and then.
It's all right.
Thank you.
I'm just here to be your sounding board.
They just had Lawson Super Sessions at Killington. Bunch of park skiers coming together and doing a rail jam and just.
Lawson's like the beer?
Yeah.
Wow.
They do a pretty sweet event at Sugarbush. Did I say Sugarbush or Sugarloaf?
You said Sugarbush.
Sugarbush, bush or loaf, dude. They do that every year, and it seems like a vibe. All right, we almost made it through.
Yeah, we did.
Anything else for you, Joe?
No, I don't think so.
Yep, things are still going well.
It's
been a great season.
It's been a fantastic season. We've had probably one of the best East Coast ski seasons that I can remember in a long time. A lot of the customers that we talk to seem to share the sentiment. Mm-hmm. You know, anyone that didn't make it out west this year doesn't feel like they missed out on anything fantastic.
I completely agree with that.
J Peak's firing, Stowe's been firing, Killington's ripping it.
Yep.
Loon, got to shout out Loon because I know you love them.
Yep.
Even the southern,
still the best park in the East.
Yeah.
Always will be.
Even the southern, like New Hampshire mountains that a lot of people that live in Boston frequent for day trips, a lot of them were fully open.
Sunapee, Ragged.
Yeah, we're
Pats.
100% open this season, which hasn't happened in
Blue
like a
Hills
really long
is getting
time.
some action.
Yeah, Wachusett.
Wachuchu.
Yeah. So, I like it.
I like it too. I'm happy. I'm happy we did a podcast. Try to stay on the consistency train with these, but this, I'm excited to see what lies in the future for this podcast and for you because you're on the podcast.
Yes.
So
sometimes,
just given the track record of former guests, you probably have a big win coming your way.
Yeah, a big win is just me getting another invite to sit here.
Speaking of big wins, dude, the Celtics game, that Peyton Pritchard parlay.
That was good. Yep.
Yeah.
I know that really, I mean, they lost, but we were the only people in the stands that were excited for them to lose the game.
Just to give a quick background, Joe and I went to the Celtics game last week where they were playing the OKC Thunder, two of the best teams in the league, playoff atmosphere, and the Celts didn't play their best game, and it was pretty out of hand by like we could have left, 4 minutes with like 3 or 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Like the game was probably over, but I had a juicy 8-leg parlay, still alive. All I needed was Peyton Pritchard to hit one more 3. And I was like, I just have such a good feeling about this. Peyton was on the court for the whole last part of the game. And we stuck around while everybody kind of filed out trying to beat the traffic. Not us, dude.
No, not you.
We stayed at our seats till the last second. Peyton Pritchard pulls up with 3 seconds on the clock and nails a 3.
Nothing beats a garbage time 3 for you.
And we went wild. And people were looking at us like we were psychos. And I was just like, I just hit a big parlay. And everybody's like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then they shamed us as we walked out.
Mm-hmm. Shamed us because they were jealous.
Yeah.
So maybe that's like my version of winning a free ride world tour.
Kind of is.
Yeah.
So all thanks to your podcast.
All thanks to the podcast. So we're going to keep doing this so I can keep winning.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone wins when we do podcasts.
That's right. Including the listeners.
Yeah. All right, Garrett.
Where else are you going to get this?
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for doing it.
Yeah. Happy to be here.
I enjoyed it.
Until next time.